Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive, Mr. Fantastic. And before we get into the review here, I just want to give a huge shout out to Swade Wilson for hooking me up with this figure. He sold it to me for the Walgreens sales price. I think it was like $12.99, and then he even shipped it to me for free. So that was really awesome of you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And let's get into the review here. As far as Mr. Fantastic figures go, I've never been a fan of any of the ones that have come out from Marvel Legends, and not either from Toy Biz or Hasbro. I've never liked any of them pretty much. The only one I thought was kind of cool was the one from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave, but he was kind of awkward, and you know, he kind of had to always have him in some kind of action pose because his torso was stretched out. But I never liked any of the powered down Mr. Fantastic figures, but this one I was really excited about, and I was even more excited about it when they showed off that they're going to be releasing Thing and Silver Surfer. So hopefully they continue on with Fantastic Four based figures, because there's a serious lack of them these days. But let's get into the review here, starting with the packaging. It has the standard Marvel Legends packaging. You can see Reed Richards here, and he looks kind of cool in the package because it doesn't look all empty. It has a cool Fantastic Four logo in the back, and then his arms are there and everything. And then on the side of the box, it has some pretty cool looking artwork, and then on the back you just get a look at the figure itself. And I'm always a fan of the Hasbro packaging. It's collector friendly, all that cool stuff. Now let's look at the figure. So the body they used on Reed Richards is a pretty good mix of old parts and new parts. The torso looks to be completely new, and the arms look like they come from Pizza Spider-Man, and so do the legs. So all the articulation is pretty familiar. It has a little bit less than some Marvel Legends figures, but it has like most of the standard points. But let's get into it here. His head is able to move side to side. It could go up to about there, could go down to about there. His torso crunches forward about that much, and then it goes back only about that much. I do wish it could crunch a little bit more, only because I want to get an extra read and make an amazing bag man. I'm sure a lot of people are going to do that, so it'd be nice if you got a little more crunch, but you can't really fault them for it. And then he has the waist swivel, and then his arms are on ball jointed shoulders, so they go all the way around. They come out to the side. They have upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel at the wrist, and a hinge at the wrist. And then for his legs, they come out to the side to about there, and then they kick forward to about there, but then they start to kind of go out to the side, as you could see there, but it still does go forward a pretty nice amount. And then he has the upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Like I said before, these are the Pizza Spider-Man's legs, so he does not have a lower leg swivel, which kind of sucks. I always miss that point of articulation. Then his feet go forward to about there. They come up to about there, and then he has the rocking ankles. So I think it has pretty much the articulation that Reed Richards needs. I do wish that the ab crunch went in a little bit more. I wish it was able to crunch a little bit more, but it's not horrible at all, so I'm okay with it. And then for the accessories, he doesn't come with much, but he does come with a couple cool things, including a set of interchangeable arms. And one thing I was really happy with about these arms is that it pretty much takes no effort to take these things on and off. As you can see here, you could just pop it right out, and it comes out without too much fight at all. And then you could just stick the other arm in there, and then there you go. It's really cool. And these arms have like a bendy wire in them, but they don't really work too good. You can't really get his arms to bend too much. I mean, they kind of want to go back to the natural position, but I mean, you could get some movement out of them, you know. And one thing I really dislike about these arms is that it has these holes in them that a lot of like figures and things that have bendy wires in them have, and I don't know, they just look really ugly to me. But definitely takes some work to get any kind of movement out of them. But they do look pretty cool once you get them positioned correctly. But yeah, I really hate those holes right here. But I guess it's kind of, you know, you can't avoid it. It seems like anything that has bendy wires has these holes. And I have no idea why, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. But yeah, these arms look pretty cool. You know, you just got to kind of mess with them. And even though the interchangeable arms are really cool and stuff, I think I'm more excited about this here, and this is the Ultimate Nullifier. And the Ultimate Nullifier is pretty nice. It does have a little bit of details on it, but not too much. I think it does have everything that it needs, but it's very cool that they included this thing. I'm very happy about that. I don't think that we've seen that before. The one thing about it is a little soft right here. As you could see, the first time I tried to stick it into one of his hands, this thing really bent, and I'm glad it didn't break on me. It's a little soft, so I don't think it's just going to snap or anything, but yeah, definitely be careful when handling it there. But yeah, I like this thing a lot. I'm so happy that they included this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we haven't seen one of these in Marvel Legends. Maybe we have, but let me know if we have and I just don't know what I'm talking about. Into some size comparisons with Reed next to the new Marvel Legends Namor figure from the Okoye Build-A-Figure wave and next to the Walmart exclusive Black Panther. And here he is next to the Doctor Doom from Toy Biz and the recently released Marvel Legends Deadpool from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave. Reed along with the Figure Arts Donatello and the Mafex Spider-Man. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Comic-Con exclusive Black Bolt and the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And here he is next to Super Skrull, which I can't really remember exactly what line this figure was from. It was like one of the Marvel Legends type of lines that were coming out at the same time as Legends. I believe maybe it was Fantastic Four Classics or something like that, but that's an awesome figure. Anyways, here he is with Super Skrull and the Marvel Legends Invincible Iron Man. And here's Reed hanging out with the other Fantastic Four Marvel Legends that they've released so far. And obviously this is Susan Storm and Human Torch. And I think the three of these figures look awesome together. They're the best looking Fantastic Four that we've seen in Marvel Legends. At least in my opinion. I've never liked any of the Fantastic Four figures that they put out so far. Especially, I mean, sometimes like I'd like one figure here, one figure there. Like I've always really loved the Series 2 Toy Biz Human Torch. I've always kind of liked the Mr. Fantastic from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave, and I can't think of an Invisible Woman that I've liked before, but this one is awesome. But all three of them look really good together, and I can't wait for the Thing. For now, I have them hanging out with the 2-pack Thing from Hasbro, I believe, from a couple years back. And this Thing is okay, but he's a little bit small. As you could see, he looks kind of short next to his family members here. But he does look pretty cool. It does look like the new one's going to be a huge improvement. There seems to be some type of torso articulation in the new one, and it's supposedly going to have multiple heads, so I think it's going to be a big improvement. But yeah, for now I don't mind him hanging out with the three of them. But yeah, I think these three are awesome, and I have no really big complaints. All of them could be a little bit better, but you know, for the most part, I like them. I do wish that Sue came with just a regular arm. I do wish that they kind of found a way to incorporate more crazy, stretchy accessories for Reed here. And I guess I don't really have too many complaints about Johnny Storm. A lot of people didn't like the way that the color of the head. And I guess I could see where they're coming from, but I always kind of, I mean, flames are always like a lighter color on the top. Maybe people just didn't like how drastic the change was, but I mean, I was okay with it. I like this figure a lot. And he came with like multiple hands and some flame effects, so it was a really dope figure. But it's going to be really exciting to have all these three together. And I apologize, I don't have any other Reed Richard figures to compare him to. Like I said, I've never really liked any of the other ones. I had the one from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave for a little bit, but then I ended up selling it. But yeah, I love this one. I'm really happy about it. I'm going to be really excited about getting the whole team together and just having more Fantastic Four type of figures being released. It's cool how they're doing the Walgreens exclusive thing, and they're releasing, like, you know, they've had these three, and then they had some they had Medusa from the Inhumans. Hopefully they do some more Inhumans and some more just Jack Kirby kind of things. That'd be great. But yeah, this is some really good stuff. I like the fact that all of the four logos on the figures all look the same. That's awesome. And I really hope we get a powered down Johnny Storm one of these days. But yeah, really good stuff. So very happy about the Fantastic Four figure set that they're building here. And as for the details on this figure, there really isn't too much to talk about. As I mentioned before, the arms and the legs seem to be reused from Pizza Spider-Man, and I think that's okay, but I do wish that he had the lower leg swivel. And then the torso, it looks pretty good, but it's interesting because it's a lot less muscular than other action figures. When you compare him to Namor here, that's really apparent. You could see that Namor has like all kinds of muscles, and he's all ripped, and Mr. Fantastic doesn't look like that at all. It kind of looks like the uniform is a little bit loose fitting and stuff. And I think that's perfect for Reed Richards, but I'm really curious as to where else they're going to use this torso. When I'm holding this figure, this figure really makes me think of Speedball from the New Warriors, probably because of the color, and it just kind of seems like a less, I guess you could say a less mature body. So I think it would work pretty good for Speedball. But yeah, I think it works good for Reed too, And yeah, other than that, there really isn't too much to talk about. Not too much paint, but it has everything that it needs. The lower arms here are black. There's no sculpted difference or anything. It just painted black. Same thing down here. And that's all okay because, you know, it's spandex uniform that stretches along with Reed Richards. But yeah, you know, pretty simple. You got the stupid numbers right here, and it is what it is. It's always like that. But yeah, it looks good. It's simple and things. It's simple and it's plain, but it does look nice, and it definitely gets the job done. Same thing with these arms. They're perfectly fine. There isn't too much details to them. You know, they're just painted. Actually, you can actually feel a difference between this and this. So there's actually a line. You know, it's not just painted. And these arms seem to be the same arms that were on the Mr. Fantastic from the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave from a couple years back. And I didn't find that out myself or anything. I saw that on Boog Nice's review from Articulated Comic Book Art, and make sure you check that out. He did an awesome review on this figure. But yeah, he mentioned in there that these hands are the same hands that were on the Mr. Fantastic from back in the day, and he does a good job at comparing them. But I don't have that handy, so I couldn't compare them. But they definitely look familiar and feel familiar, so just wanted to throw that out there. And the only part on this body that they really had to nail and do a really clean job on was the logo, and for the most part they did. Just by looking at it, it looks really nice. When I'm zoomed in here with the camera, I could see a little bit of paint imperfection in the 4 there, but it's not a big deal at all because just looking at it, I don't even notice it. But yeah, it looks really good. All the lines are really sharp, and the 4 looks really nice. So I'm very happy about that. And here's a closer look at the head sculpt, and for the most part, it does look really nice. I think it does look like Reed Richards. I like the way that the hair looks right there. Then of course you got the gray down here on the sideburns, and then it's just pretty much brown. Not a lot of paint details or anything. The facial expression is just kind of there, and it does look nice. But of course, you know, it's Hasbro, so they kind of always have that like plasticky type of look, or at least for their comic book figures, they have like a plastic type of look. But it does look good. I'm happy with the head sculpt. So overall, I think that he's a really cool figure. He's very simple, but I think that he captures Mr. Fantastic perfectly. And I would say that he's the best Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic out there. Let me know which Mr. Fantastic you think is the best in Marvel Legends. For me, none of them have ever caught my attention. I've never been really excited about getting any of them. But when I saw this one, and with how good the other ones look, I was really excited to get this one. So you know, that's never been the case for me for Mr. Fantastic, but I saw this one, I was excited about it, and I'm happy to have it. I do think that it would have been cool if they found a way to incorporate some more like stretchy effects, how they did with the arms, because they did a really good job with those, and they're very simple to interchange. So it would have been cool if they did something similar with the neck or with the legs. But you know, this figure was a Walgreens exclusive. It was on sale for like $12.99 for a while, for a couple weeks. So a lot of people got it for that price. So you know, at that price, how can you be mad at what you got? Even if you paid full price, which is $19.99, it's still a really cool figure with some cool accessories, interchangeable arms, and the ultimate nullifier. So you know, that's pretty cool. But I do think it'd be awesome if later on down the line, if we saw like a deluxe version that came with some more stretchy parts. But yeah, it's going to be really awesome to have all 4 members of the Fantastic Four together. I don't know if I've ever had, I think when the Ronin Build-A-Figure wave came out, I had that whole set, and at that point I think I had all 4 of the family members. But yeah, I just wasn't excited about those, so I don't even think I displayed them. And then I think I did have the 2-packs from Hasbro, but again, I was never excited about them. I never picked up the Toy Biz box set. I kind of wish that I had, but I just never did. So I'm excited to get all 4 of the Fantastic Four figures, and for all of them to look really nice and uniform and like they are supposed to be together. And yeah, I think this is going to be the perfect Fantastic Four once they're all released and once it's all said and done. And I really do think in the future they'll find a way to put these all out in a box set or something. I don't know. I just get that feeling, maybe with like a different shade of blue or something. But that'll be cool too. But yeah, he's a really cool figure. I'm very happy to have him, and I think that's about it. So thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.